These cats are crazy. Crazy cats.
Farming in Canada can be hard. Farming in an extreme climate can be hard. But here at the Hidden Spring Farm in Horseshoe Valley, Ontario, Canada, we must survive these extreme Canadian winters, and life on the farm must go on. It's really not easy sometimes to get through these extreme temperatures and harsh weather and Arctic tundra polar vortexes, but we must persevere. It all starts in the morning with layering up your clothing. As I suit up to greet the day at the farm on this blustery, wintry, harsh day, I layer up the clothing, make sure that there's no drafts. Always like to put some lip balm on my lips so they won't dry up and crack. And it's the extremities that go first. Your fingers, your toes, your nose, your face. So you gotta protect them as best as possible. I can't believe how cold it is, folks. It's so bright and sunny, but boy is it cold. Had to put my mask on today because it's just so darn cold. My face is frozen. It's definitely an extreme temperature here in Canada right now. We're in Ontario, Canada, folks. It's really cold. It's about minus 36 Celsius, and with the wind chill, it's minus 42. And that's cold, even for us Canadians. Boy, it's one of these frigid cold days. I'm inside the barn now. I took my mask off because it starts to get condensated, eh? So, the mouth portion and the nose portion get all wet from the condensation. Because when you breathe out, it's moist and it freezes. It's always pretty amazing to see the way all of the animals react to the climate. Both the domestic animals here at the farm and the natural wildlife in their natural habitat here around the property, such as the coyotes and the deer and a bunch of other different kinds of wildlife that we see around here. The rabbits seem to love the cold. It looks to me that these harsh temperatures don't affect the rabbits at all. It seems like they thrive in these temperatures. They just hop around in the straw, make little tunnels, hang around. They eat their pellets, they poop a lot, and they're so far getting adjusted to life here on the farm. It's pretty awesome so far having rabbits at the farm. All they do is create poop all day long, and that's exactly what we need for our gardens. Molly, the old English sheepdog, is always happy in the snow. She's always happy in the cold. She doesn't mind the extreme harsh temperatures here in Canada at all. And she's living life on the farm, and she's loving every minute of it. As she greets the day, she jumps in and out of the mounds of snow, and she just loves playing around like a little kid. She's got a double coat of hair, It may not look like it's very shaggy right now, but she has this dense undercoat, and it keeps her very warm in these cold climates. Molly's been shaved down a bit to get rid of some matting. One might think that she's going to feel cold, but she doesn't feel cold at all. It's that dense undercoat, which is what you see on Molly now. That's what's protecting her from the harsh climate. The only thing you have to worry about with dogs like this that have double coats is dampness and moisture. You don't want them to get wet. It's okay if they get a little bit of snow, but wetness and dampness is no good. It can turn into hypothermia if they're out for extended periods of time. Surprisingly, the barn cats actually do very well with the cold weather also. They seem to have grown a thicker coat for the winter, and they don't mind frolicking and playing around in the snow. They don't stay in the snow for long periods of time like Molly the sheepdog does, because I think their feet pads get cold. They're always shaking their hands, to get the snow off. But they do very well. The claw crew is actually very comfortable here at the farm. They've even become close to the rabbits, and they just play with the rabbits and hang around with the rabbits. They like to lay in the straw where the rabbits stay, and they just chill out, and sometimes they hide and keep warm. doe and a buck over on this side, eh guys? Separated from the other 3 does, because we're gonna see if we can get these 2 pregnant. The farm that we got them from said to do so, so I'm just following their recommendations because they've been together for a little while so far. But they're not fighting, they're doing pretty good. As I let the geese out of their hut for the day, I'm reminded how remarkable waterfowl are, especially in these extreme harsh climates like here in Canada. Their feet, although has no muscles and no, structure or meat, they just go in the water as if it's nothing. They don't get frostbite, they don't get cold, they're really remarkable creatures. It's past minus 30 here. They still dip and dive in the water, trying to preen themselves, trying to get a drink, trying to clean themselves, clean the feathers, and you can see the water beating off of their backs because they have this miraculous waterproof feather system. It's amazing. The water just rolls right off. These Emden geese are just a beautiful, pure white. It really plays on the color of the snow. And that goes along with their beautiful blue eyes, too. Every once in a while through the winter here, I gotta check in to see how much poop is inside their hut. Once there gets to be a nice layer of frozen poops, then it's time to get some more straw and add on to the deep litter. Add some more bedding so then they can poop on that and stay warm. Took my mask off because it's getting hot inside the tractor. I got the heat crank so I can stay warm out here at the Hidden Spring Farm. I sure hope I got enough straw bales for the season. The cats have kind of torn it all apart, There's a bunch on the floor here, and that's, what are you going to do? But there's still a good amount left. Hopefully we'll be okay until the end of this winter. It snows quite regularly, and I have to keep the driveway clear so that our farm stay guests have clear access in and out of the farmhouse. It's also fun just driving my tractor. In the summer, I built this 7-coop octagonal chicken house, although I only have 4 coops completed. I'll be completing the rest this coming spring. But it houses our Rhode Island red flock, our light Sussex flock, and our black leghorn flock. Michael Jackson, the light Sussex rooster, hanging out with all his hens, trying to get out of the wind from outside. You gotta collect all the eggs early in the morning, otherwise they'll freeze. And then they'll crack and they'll just be no good. It's very important during these extreme winters we have here in Canada that there are no drafts inside your chicken house. Chickens have a lot of feathers and they don't require any heat, but they cannot withstand the wind. So you need to deal with the moisture and you need to deal with the wind, and your chickens will be happy clucksters. All the barn cats still handle the rodent problems, even throughout the winter. Right here, Maggie, she seems to have caught herself a mole. We use the heated poultry drinkers. That way the water doesn't freeze throughout these extreme temperatures. And it works very well. This is my custom ultimate duck house. We're calling it the Ducky Bunky, and it's pretty cool. It's not your typical duck house, and the ducks really love living life here inside the Ducky Bunky. These water faucets here are called yard hydrants, and they're frost free. They don't freeze, and that's very important. Basically, when the water comes out and you turn it off, the water drains back down the bottom, which is about 8 to 10 feet deep. To keep the ducks' water from freezing, we're using these little circular pucks, and they only come on when they need to come on. They're thermostatically controlled, and it's been working very well. Very pleased with this system. Molly always comes in to the duck house with me and helps me search for the eggs. One duck egg today. It's a beautiful duck egg though. They buried it amongst all the straw there. That really helps it from freezing, eh? Otherwise it'll be frozen in no time. Everything lays a little bit dormant here in these extreme winters in Canada, and all living things seem to find a way to persevere. Once spring comes, we'll be ready All the animals at the farm will be ready to greet the beautiful weather, greet the fresh grass and blossoms, and just love to live life at the farm. And if you want to get an early start to the spring, click the end card to watch the geese and the ducks in the orchard for the first time. And if you're not already subscribed, why don't you click that subscribe button too and follow along on our story. Thanks for watching. You guys take care, eh?